Welcome back. Now we take your questions. If you have a question yourself, send it to us at QuranSpeaks.com. So Dr. Shabir, the question that we have is, are women allowed to travel without a male relative? And the viewer goes on to say that many women today heard the saying where the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that if a woman believes in Allah and His Messenger, she should not travel without a relative. And the viewer says the saying was relevant to the time when women were in danger if they weren't with a male relative, but with today's technology and investments, what's the ruling on that?
Yeah. Now, when something is based on a saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as opposed to being a saying that something that comes straight out of the Quran, obviously this should not be given the kind of relevance or importance as if it is coming right out of the Quran. We need to keep things in perspective. Furthermore, when things are for one's own protection in this life, then it is not to be treated as a kind of a faith issue. Like, you know, I know the wording of the hadith seems to give it that faith issue, but we should recognize that this is a benevolent sort of recommendation from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for the protection of women. It's not that, you know, if it means that if the woman travels, that means she's lost her faith in God. And the questioner is right in that it speaks to a sort of situation in which women would have been in danger if they traveled alone. But there's also another saying of the Prophet, peace be upon him, that a time will come when a woman will travel from Sana'a to Hadramaut and she will not be molested. And that seems to indicate that, okay, that will be a future time. And when that time occurs, then it should be fine for a woman to travel, because the main problem is that if she travels then and there, in the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, somebody may attack her. So it was always a good idea for a woman to travel in the company of a male escort who will be there to protect her. And sometimes just having the male escort, it doesn't mean that he's a Muslim man. That just simply creates a barrier in the minds of those who may want to feel, okay, here's a lone woman, and they may think that it's open game for them, which she's not. We need to respect women, but people did not at the time. So in a situation like today, where it is safe for women to travel, then there is no restriction on women, just as there is no restriction on men. Of course, both men and women can fall into danger, but both should have that allowance to travel.
So the viewer also mentioned in terms of traveling for education overseas and those purposes. So then within this context in your explanation, then the answer is that it would be permissible and is okay?
Of course, whether for men or women, one has to always gauge one's situation and know one's person, one's circumstances, and see, you know, make choices. If an environment is dangerous, neither men nor women should go into that environment, and so on.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome.